There's a snowy cardinal, a cardinal in the snow. Cardinals don't migrate when it snows or when it becomes winter. Did you know that? And this is, according to the internet, this is a northern cardinal. So I don't know what they mean because I live in the south and I see these cardinals here. So I don't know if that means they came from the north or because we're in the northern hemisphere or North America. So I don't want to even pretend to be a bird expert. But it is a beautiful bird. I love the cardinals. We have a bird bath in the backyard, and the male and the female always seem to come together. I don't know if they mate for life. I think they do. I think Robin told me they do. So the challenge with this one, of course, was to try to get the red correctly. Sometimes red is a difficult color. You know, if it has to be brilliant red, like an apple or a cardinal, you really can't mess with it. You really kind of have to go with whatever you have as the best red you have. The best red. This is my best red. So, but I think what I learned from this one is to do some more of these. Just to work, be a little student of Johann Audubon and paint birds more often and maybe study feathers. I hope if you're watching this, you already know that I don't profess to be a teacher of art. I don't profess to be an expert on paint or brushes or anything. I'm a retired radio guy. That's what I am, for those who are new. And by the way, if you are new, welcome. But I'm a retired radio guy. I've always been an artist, but I didn't earn a living at it. And after I retired, I always, I supplemented my income with it. I did little pictures for people, but I wasn't like in some studio. I didn't work for Paramount or Disney or I worked for a radio station. I was an announcer. And then when Robin and I retired, I guess it was 2020. Did we retire in 2020, I think? In January of that year. So suddenly I found myself doing a couple things. One of them was sitting on the back porch. And off of the back porch in the backyard, there's a bird bath. So I found myself sitting on the back porch watching the birds. And I thought, wow, I have really retired. And somewhere along the way, I decided to pick up the brushes, and at that point, I was a brand new grandpa, and I was dubbed Poppa. So there's my name for the channel. And so just to get to the point here, I am not trying to be a teacher. I am just painting with you. You're painting with me. And we're just getting to know each other. And if you're new and you don't know about the Facebook group, there is a Facebook group for Poppa Paints, and some brilliant, talented artists are posting their artwork on there. You got to check it out, and don't scroll through them. When you go to the Poppa Paints Facebook group or any art site, please don't be scrolling through like you're looking at everything for less than a second. Take some time, savor each piece. Think about the piece, look at it, Take it into your brain and look at it. You have in your hand, on your phone, you have the most amazing art gallery that ever has existed right on your phone. All you have to do is find those pieces of art. Go to somebody's website, an artist's website. Go to maybe a museum website. Go to something like pixels.com or Pexels, P-E-X-E-L-S, or unstream.com, or just go to images on Google and look for paintings. I don't know, but just savor them. When you find a place that has art, savor the art. And savor your own art too. So if you're an artist and you came here to paint, go ahead, get out your brush. You can paint with me. You don't have to paint what I paint. I'm learning at the same time as I'm doing these videos. For example, on this one, I didn't know what to do with the background. I mean, I was just at a loss, but it came out all right. It came out all right. All right, well, let me show you how I did that. Thanks for watching. Here we go. All right, let's get started with this one. I want to sketch today with a red pencil, only because the graphite pencil sometimes leaves the graphite marks, well, always leaves the graphite marks, and I don't know that I want that with this one because red is such an important part of this picture. You know, this cardinal. We have cardinals here in Florida too. I don't know where you are, but they are everywhere, and they're not called southern cardinals, I don't think. I think they're called northern cardinals, even though they're down here in the south. And I know that they are here because we have a bird bath. And the bird bath attracts the birds, and I just love watching when they stop by for a bath. I love watching the birds take a bath. It's the sign that I got old. I don't know that that's true, though. I probably liked it when I was younger, too. I'm just using that as a statement of humor. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get a laugh. So, anyway, so I'm sketching with a red pencil because even though this might be difficult to erase if I make a mistake, it probably will be okay. Even if these pencil marks are noticeable. Now, I know what you're thinking. I already know. Why don't you use watercolor pencils? And the answer is simple. I don't have any. I'm going to re-say that. I do have some somewhere. I don't know where they are. And Robin is asleep. And she probably knows where they are. But I don't know where they are. So I'm just going to use a regular red colored pencil. If you're curious the kind of colored pencil I'm using, it's from this company. How do you say it? Faber-Castell? These are really good, by the way. These are really great colored pencils. And yes, I like those pencils a lot. So, all right, Mr. Cardinal, let's get your beak put in here so you have something to eat with. I love feeding these guys. And what I love about them is they usually show up in pairs. There's usually a male and a female that show up at the same time. It's very cool to see. And I think it seems to me that the male shows up first and then the female shows up, and I always wonder, is he like scoping out the place? Is he making sure it's safe? I don't know. I would like to think that. I would like to think that the male, is there to protect the female. I sometimes wonder when I see how animals behave and even how people behave. I sometimes wonder, why did God decide that the male would be sometimes, I hate to say this, but ladies, the male is sometimes the lazy one. I'm not saying men, but sometimes that's true too. Maybe why? Like, for example, in lions, right? Don't the male lions basically just eat? I don't know. Anyway, here's my cardinal. He's coming. The sketch is coming around, so I'll put his little feet over here. Little claws. Anyway, so it's kind of cool. I have some facts about cardinals. that I looked up that I'm going to share with you. And it is cool that they stay in the snow too. So I want to make a snowy background somehow. I don't know. I don't want to go too detailed with the background because I want this to be all about the bird. But well, you already know because you've seen the intro video. All right, this is the moment of truth. This is where we have to find a really good red color. And I'm not sure if I have one over here. So I'm going to have to test a lot of them out. That's orange. We don't want that one. Let's see, what is this one? That's red, but it's not the right red. Let's see what this one is. That's not really good either. How about some of this leftover gouache that I have on this side of the page, of the can? Oh, that's a good red. Yeah, that's gouache. All right, gouache it is then. See how gouache goes down. Gouache behaves so differently than watercolor, but you can make it work like watercolor. So I'm just going to get the dark side first, the shadowed side of our bird. Yeah, I want it to behave like watercolor. Maybe I'll use some of that watercolor to increase the brightness and darkness. Maybe, let's see, what does this look like? Oh, that's orange. That's not good. That's orange. That's another orange. Fourth one in. All right, fourth one in. You're going to be my shadow color. Looks like we have another hurricane brewing out in the ocean. I just saw a little notice on my phone. It's probably not for another week or so. Alright, get this red, deep red. So I'm mixing watercolor with gouache here. Just trying to get this underside of this cardinal to be lit. I mean to be shadowed. Okay. Let's see the top. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Maybe I can even add a little white to it. This is gouache after all, so you can mix gouache like acrylics. So I'm just going to do this a little bit. I'll change it if I need to. I want to have some light coming on him, this side of him. It'd probably be okay to add a little bit of orange to it, a little bit of warmth. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this is an interesting study because it's all red, but at the same time, you have to. I don't know how I got that right there. Got a little piece of water right there that I don't want there. There we go. Pick it up. Just pick it up. There we go. All right, now we can get back to the red. Again, this has to be darker. I don't want to mess with the wet on wet right now. I just want to keep it simple. The one thing about watercolor is it's so easy to make a mistake, but at the same time, the happy accident factor of watercolor Because sometimes the water kind of does the work for you, and it's kind of cool. So let's get the underside of his beak. Make sure we keep that shadow in there. Some deep, deep reds right here. The inside of his beak. Right there, we get some deep reds right there. Keep this a little bit light over here. Just keep working it. Just keep working it. And a little bit of darkness under here. It's under his tail. A little bit of darkness here too. And of course there's a lot of darkness right here. Let's get that darkness right all around his eye. Get that in there, all that dark, that tuft. That's such a beautiful design. This is great. I love this bird particularly in snow scenes. That's why I hope I can pull it off with a snow scene in the background, because it's just that red, beautiful red color of the cardinal up against the white snow. It's just such a pretty sight. Keep that white reflective spot. There. Now he does have another line around his eye. I'll use the smaller brush for that. Add a little bit more darkness here. Alright, let's get some more of that red in here. We gotta get some of these feathers. See, I like what it's doing right there. It's creating that shadow there. Let's see if I can duplicate that around the other parts of him. His feet are kind of dark, kind of in the shadows also. Can't really see his feet that well in this reference photo that I'm using. But we'll just create that look right there. Alright, let's get back to this gouache red. Let me add a little bit of darkness to it. Create more of a shadow on this side of him. And up here, some of his feathers also. You know what might have worked also is purple. Purple might have worked as a bottom, as a shadow color. Let's see if I have a purple that'll work. Well, blue and red would make purple, so let me add a little bit of that. That might help. Just a little bit. I'm just trying to create that look of a shaded area underneath the bird. Kind of works. Sort of looks like it's working, I guess. Just spread it around, let the watercolor do its thing. Alright, now let's get some of that bright red in there at this part of him. Be careful not to put any big spots there. There he goes. He's got that tuft at the back of his head. Got this little mistake right here. I can fix, hopefully. Get that up. Try to work that into the background. Okay. not Johann Audubon. Johann Audubon did so many paintings of birds, and I just now told you I'm not Johann Audubon because I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the reference photo, and I don't think I got the bird exactly physically correct. I feel like I would probably make that eye a little bit bigger, but I'm not going to mess with it because I'll ruin it if I do. But I do feel like his eyes should be bigger, but I'm not going to mess with it. Maybe he's a young bird. Maybe his eye has to grow still. I don't know. Just get some of this here. And there's our red cardinal with some shadows. Now if I can pull off the snowy background that I had in mind. I'm not sure how to do that, but I have to let it dry. So I'm going to turn off the camera and I'll be right back. Okay, it's not completely dry yet, but I want to add a little bit more richness to his beak. There we go. All right, now it's not completely dry. I want to read you some of the things I found about cardinals, northern cardinal specifically. It says here that they don't migrate. They can be seen year-round in backyards all over North America. And let's see. The northern cardinal is one of the most popular wild birds, one of the easiest to spot because of its red, bright red. The female northern cardinal is one of the few female songbirds that sings. Females can often be heard while nesting in high perches and will share song phrases with their mates. I've heard that. I've heard them out in the backyard. The nest of a northern cardinal pair has 4 layers: twigs, leaves, bark, and grass. Wow. Twigs, leaves, bark, and grass. The male will collect the materials and the female will spend about a full week building the nest that has an internal diameter of 3 inches. Wow. Oh, look at this fun fact. A cardinal is often seen attacking its own reflection. It's a common occurrence during the peak of breeding season when cardinals become extremely territorial. Some male cardinals may spend hours fighting their own reflection. Really? The expansion of people, neighborhoods, and subsequently backyards has aided the northern cardinal species in a positive way. Well, that's a twist. usually all the population growth harms wildlife, but this, whoever put this little factoid says that it actually aids, so who knows. The northern cardinal is seen year-round. The time of year influences how they travel from place to place. You will see cardinals traveling in pairs during the breeding season, but in the fall and the winter they travel in flocks as large as several dozen. I didn't know that. Well, that's all I have. Alright. I'm putting off what I want to do is make this background look like snow. Like a forest, I guess, like a you know, I don't know what I mean. I'm not even sure myself. I'm not even sure how to do this. So I'll just use some grays and some browns. Maybe I'll make the appearance of some twigs covered with snow. I'm not really sure how to do it. I'm going to use some of the colors I've already used. So I guess the way to do this, I'm trying to think. I think the way to do this is to just paint in the negative space. I'll leave some white there for what looks like the twigs covered with snow. I guess. Yeah, some blue-gray might not be bad either. Yeah, I'm just making this up as I go along. Just leaving white areas for the illusion of snow-covered twigs. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. And keep it light. I guess I can do this. This idea, this blue and these grays. Yeah, the feet didn't come out so well. I could have spent more time on feet. I didn't have a really good shot of the feet though. I couldn't see them. comes out. Alright, let's smear some of this around now. And you know what I want to do? I'm going to take a shot at something. Have you ever done the little splatter trick on watercolor paint? It's kind of a haphazard thing. I'm going to try and do it on this one. The splatter trick. So I gotta get some white paint. It's gotta be very wet. And I'm gonna tap it and hope I don't make a mistake. I'm trying to create the illusion of maybe some snow falling. All right, let's let that dry and we'll see if that worked. We'll see if that helps add to the picture in any way. All right, I'll be right back after it dries. Okay, well, it dried a little bit darker than I was hoping it would. I'm going to take some of this wet. I'm just going to put some dots on here. I'm going to make it look more like snow, I think. I hope I don't ruin it. I like the idea of this bird being in the snow. I don't know why. I want this to be a winter picture, maybe. Yeah, just put some snowflakes everywhere. I was hoping the splatter technique would help, but it did, and it did. There's some nice, like faded white, which is good too. Faded white is sometimes good for snow. But I need some more obvious snowflakes. I want this bird to be enduring the winter, to be out there and not minding the elements of the wintry, snowy day. I kind of like the way it's looking now. Put some snow on. Should I put some snow on his feathers? No. That'll ruin it a little bit, maybe. Maybe a little bit has settled on him. A snowy cardinal. I know those of you who live in the snow wish you were not having to deal with it, but I'll tell you what, when you live in Florida as long as I have, and you don't see snow very often unless you drive north, which I've done a few times just for that very purpose. I know you can't understand that. You say, why do you want to see snow? Well, I don't know. It's beautiful. I miss it. From when I was a kid, I used to see snow every winter. You know, and even though that was a very long time ago, it's still there in my memory. I was dating a girl in my 20s, and she grew up in Florida. And whenever I would paint a picture of winter, I would always make it snowy. And she said, you live in Florida, why do you always paint snow? why do all your Christmas paintings have snow in them? And I said, I don't know. I don't know why. But they do. Alright. Am I overdoing it now? I think I got enough snow on there, right? I think I got enough snow on my snowy cardinal. I say that, but I keep going. I keep going. Well, there's my snowy cardinal. Alright, let me fold it. I know it's not dry on the snowflakes, but I'm gonna take a chance and fold it, make it into a card. There we go. Alright, well, it is what it is, right, kids? There's my snowy cardinal painting. I think I'll do more of these as we get deeper into the season. I kind of like the idea of a bird in the snow. And I guess next time I'll have to think the background through a little bit better. But it came out all right. I don't know what my mind is seeing in that background, but it's all right. All right, I'll talk to you later.